I don't know why you two are in a standoff. I didn't even romance Liara. Hey everybody, welcome back to more Mass Effect 2. I'm SlayerMathis, and last time we finally broke into the Shadow Broker ship. We met Farron, and this time I'm gonna go and confront the broker. Is it right away? Maybe. I don't actually know.
Here for the drill. Reckless, even for you, Commander.
That bombing on Ilium wasn't exactly subtle.
Extreme, but necessary.
No, it wasn't. It's caging Farron for 2 years.
Dr. Tassoni, your interference caused this. Farron betrayed me when he handed you Shepard's body. The drill is simply paying the price.
It'll be pretty hard to run a base this size with no crew.
They're replaceable. Your arrival is barely an interruption.
Someone was bound to come after you for working with the Collectors.
It was a mutually beneficial partnership. Fortunately, the Normandy's IFF will let me salvage the remains of the Collector's base. Enough talk. My operations are too crucial to be compromised by a traitor.
You're quite confident for someone with nowhere left to hide.
You travel with fascinating companions, Doctor. I'm surprised you brought the Quarian to Sony. Her supposed leadership on Haystrom got most of her team killed.
You're not putting a hand on anyone.
It's pointless to challenge me, Asari. I know your every secret, while you fumble in the dark.
Is that right? You're a Yogg, a pre-spaceflight species quarantined to their homeworld from massacring the Council's first contact teams. This base is older than your planet's discovery. Which probably means you killed the original Shadow Broker 60 years ago, then took over. I'm guessing you were taken from your world by a trophy hunter who wanted a slave. Or a pet. How am I doing?
The Shadow Broker will have a unique line of dialogue for every single potential companion that you bring, including Morth. The Shadow Broker is the only time that having Morth instead of Samara will actually change anything. Everywhere else, all dialogue is the same. But the Shadow Broker is all about knowledge, so he knows that Morth isn't Morth isn't Samara. Which, sounds obvious, but it's not.
The shield's kinetically sensitive. Energy and projectiles are bouncing off.
Then we do this the hard way.
Hit him now!
Generally, melee isn't all too helpful, but the fact that the Shadow Broker fight actually utilizes melee is really badass. Especially, Shepard going to punch this giant, 8-foot, 9-foot tall creature that is probably more intimidating than the Krogan, to be honest. Krogan are big, but the Yogg is something else. I love this fight, by the way. This is a very good DLC. And it actually, surprisingly, has a good boss fight, which is not something you often see in Mass Effect.
If you can get him to bring up that shield again, I've got an idea. Watch out.
And time for Phase 3, which is mostly the same as Phase 2, but I believe he can start really destroying the environment around here. Of course, we did see him already destroy some of the environment with the first place that we're taking cover against. Really? If I stayed close to him, I'd keep getting punched, but I ran away, didn't have time to bring the armor back up. I don't exactly remember what weapon it is that he's carrying, but I believe is it a weapon that you can actually have yourself? I don't know. I don't think so. But it might be something that shows up in 3. We throw the warp around. And of course, no matter who your companion other than Liara is, they will be incapacitated for this fight. So it's just a 2-on-1, you and Liara. And Liara does do pretty well, honestly, so.
Shadow Broker, this is Operative Murat. We've had a momentary connection failure. Can you confirm status?
Operative Shora requesting update. Are we still online?
Shadow Broker, I've lost our feed. We're online and awaiting instructions.
This is the Shadow Broker. The situation is under control. We experienced a power fluctuation while upgrading hardware. It disrupted communications momentarily.
However, we are now back online. Resume standard procedures.
I want a status report on all operations within the next solar day.
Shadow Broker, out.
Goddess of Oceans. It's you. You... how?
Well, everyone who's ever seen him in person is dead. So,
You're the new Shadow Broker.
Is taking over as the Shadow Broker really a good idea?
it was either that or lose everything. His contacts, his trading sources, those will really help us. With the Shadow Broker's information network, I can give you...
I'll check the power systems.
It's over. It's finally. For 2 years.
It's all right.
spent 2 years mourning you and Farron. And now I've got you both back. Let's see what we've got. No safeguards or user restrictions. It's like he never anticipated anyone but himself being here. And it's all ours.
What kind of information are we talking about?
I'm not sure. I'll need to go through his files. Come back later and I'll try to have something useful for you. All I wanted was to rescue Farron, but is it wrong that part of me wants this? With the Shadow Brokers network, I can help you. Maybe I can turn this operation into something better.
Don't be a stranger this time.
Come by when you have a chance. The doors are always open. Thank you, Shepard, for everything.
Shepard has defeated the Shadow Broker. Eliminate Cerberus information leaks as Liara Testoni takes over. The Star's relationship with Shepard should be watched closely. Now, at this point, I believe I just want to return to the Normandy for now. Just double check. Because now that we have the Shadow Broker's base taken over, at any point in time, we can stop on over to Hagalaz and enter the ship. Which is it's a nice little thing there. It's a little bit of a ways out, but still. So you can do this any point during the second half of the game. So of course, so you can like actually scan the planet. But at any point during the second half of the game, you can do this DLC. And
Shepard, it's so good to see you. I've set up a few terminals with information I think you'll find interesting. Take a look.
Welcome back, Shadow Broker.
What's this?
That's the old broker's VI assistant. It's actually been helpful with rebuilding the network.
Please let me know if I can organize anything else for you, Shadow Broker.
It also thinks anyone in the room is the broker. I'll play around with the settings later.
My manual is ready whenever you have a moment.
I like the info, Joan. But anyways, so as you progress through the story, more things will unlock with this. Of course, we are at the end, so there's that. Another thing is the Shadow Broker's dialogue at the beginning will change depending on if you've done the suicide mission, as well as the result of the suicide mission. Going around, there's a decent bit around here. Which, I mean, we might as well, we'll check out that stuff later. Dossiers are the most interesting thing about them because there is stuff on every single companion as well as a couple other extra people. Just a brief overview followed by, there's a bunch of other things that you can learn about them, which we will do. I'll probably read that stuff out next episode. Finally, with here you can finally reset your other companions. Of course, place to edit your stuff. There is a research terminal here as well.
Mistress has made some unusual purchases lately. She may be expecting to move to a larger mansion.
Over here, there is I don't actually know if this unlocks the planet or if this just tells you where the stuff is. Of course, we want to grab a model of the ship because we always like our model ships. And then you can pick up some extra stuff. Might as well pick up that iridium. No reason not to.
How are you doing, Liara?
I'm a bit overwhelmed, to be honest. The Shadow Broker had more resources than you can imagine. Here, come on over. He had top-level access to the Turian and Asari governments. And more than one Solarian Dalatros traded intel. And now it's ours.
You're not gonna turn into a recluse with creepy information on everyone in the galaxy, are you?
I can understand the temptation. I've got all the secrets of the galaxy at my fingertips. Give me 10 minutes and I could start a war. But I've got a purpose. Helping you stop the Reapers. That will keep me honest. You know, relatively speaking.
If you're in over your head, we could just crash this thing and walk away.
That's just it. In a way, I feel like I belong here. Working on my own, I was always hunting for leads. With the Shadow Broker's resources, it's about organizing, cataloging. I've got everything, Shepard. This is a dream job. Although, the location could be better.
Have you found anything useful yet?
The Shadow Broker knew about the Reapers. Perhaps that's why he offered to help prove Saren's guilt to the Council.
He didn't want Saren to succeed.
He also knew that the Collectors were Protheans, repurposed to be Harbinger's puppets. There's even some data on the Protheans. I think he knew what was coming and was looking for a way to survive.
Why was he still looking at Protheans? They gave us the warning and the conduit at Ilos, but we've used those.
The Shadow Broker seemed to think there was more out there. Perhaps the Protheans had other plans. Or maybe he was just grasping at anything that offered some hope.
How'd you know what the Shadow Broker was?
I didn't. I had no idea what to expect when we finally found him. But I researched pre-spaceflight cultures during some of my Prothean studies. I know a bit about the Yogg. There's more on the terminals if you want to look. They're a fascinating culture, and a terrifying one.
How's Farron doing?
As well as you'd expect, after 2 years of intermittent torture.
You gonna be okay?
I don't know. He wants to work, so I'm letting him help. Maybe it takes his mind off it.
So, you and Farron?
No. He's been through a traumatic ordeal. He's emotionally fragile and needs to heal. He's very grateful to me for saving him. But it would be irresponsible of me to take advantage of that.
It was good talking with you, Liara. Let me know if you need anything.
I think what I need right now is a friend. I can't leave for too long, but spending all my time on this ship. Maybe next time you come by, I could come up to the Normandy.
That sounds great. Why don't you come up now?
Okay, thanks. I'll be right there. Just give me a minute.
Did you enjoy the tour?
Yes, it's a beautiful ship. And I ran into Joker. He seemed happy to see me. Although, he did ask if I'd embraced eternity lately.
Of course he did.
I also spoke with Dr. Chakwas. I'm glad she's doing well. I brought you something. It took some digging, but I recovered your tags.
I thought I'd never see these again.
They changed hands more than once. Do you remember Admiral Hackett? He gave them to me so I could return them to you. He sends his best and hopes you're okay. So, how are you doing, Shepard? I mean, really. Not what you tell your squad to keep morale up.
Between you and me, I have no idea how we're gonna do this. I'm doing everything I can, but...
You've done more than most. You and your team destroyed the Collectors and walked out alive.
The Collectors were just Harbinger's minions. He's still out there, and he won't go down as easily.
Give yourself some credit, Shepard. Without the Collectors, the Reapers will have one less tool to use when they arrive. It's funny. Finally, just the two of us. And we still end up talking about everyone but ourselves. So tell me what you want. What are you fighting for? A chance to give Miss Vaz Normandy a homeworld?
Tali is important to me.
And she's been awestruck since you brought her onto the Normandy 2 years ago.
You could have mentioned that at the time.
And save you the fun of finding out on your own. I hope the two of you find some happiness, Shepard. I should get back to my base, but thanks for inviting me up, Shepard.
Come back soon.
There's a couple of quick things that I actually want to mention. Very weird. First of all, just having a dog tag, that's a nice extra thing to have. But, one that's actually related to achievements. Of course, achievements, not generally terribly important. You kind of get them as you go through. But, one interesting thing is the Paramour achievement. I forget exactly what it's called, because I think it has different names for each game. But the achievement for getting a romance. Mass Effect 1, obviously, romances are pretty simple. Mass Effect 2, you have the 6 that I mentioned. I think it's 6, right? Something like that. The few that I mentioned before when we started romancing Tali. And then there's also a couple of more unique ones. Samara, you can technically romance, however, you will not get the achievement for. Same deal with Morinth. Morinth, actually, if you romance her, will kill you. It's a fun little thing there. You can get somewhat of a relationship with Kelly, Yeoman Chambers. And then there is the situation with Liara. I'm pretty sure, I'm like 90% sure, that in base game, you cannot get the achievement by rekindling the relationship with Liara. However, with Lair of the Shadow Broker, when you get her invited back up to the ship, you can do the same there. You can rekindle the relationship, get everything there. Of course, there is different dialogue for if you have romanced her before, so yeah. We'll grab the pistol damage, we'll grab the damage protection. Yeah, that's fine. I know we're past time, but I just want to show off the last of what's on the ship. We'll get to Farron in just a second. There's the video archive.
What does this console do?
This is the video surveillance access point. I've queued up the archive footage you requested on your last visit, Shadow Broker. Arya Talok, Omega.
Basically, there's a bunch of videos that will play. This is the big thing that has more videos, that has extra information, so yeah. Some music that we can play here.
Shepard, glad you stopped by. We don't get many visitors.
Take it easy. You've been through a lot.
You're probably right. I never did say thanks for the rescue.
Liara never gave up on you, Farron. I just helped.
I'm still amazed Liara came for me. I'll never forget what either of you did.
I can log that in the archives for you, sir.
I see you met the secretary.
For 2 years, Liara didn't stop looking for you. You two must have been close.
She's a good friend. Better than I deserve.
How are you holding up, Farron?
I'll be alright. I wasn't always strapped into that interrogation chair. Drell can mentally escape into old memories. It came in handy on the bad days.
How many times did the Shadow Broker hook you up to that contraption?
A lot. It gets fuzzy. He made the guards watch, as an example.
What will you do now that you're a free man?
I want to help Liara rebuild this place. But after that...
Your schedule's getting full, sir. Let me sync it to your Omni tool.
No thanks, I'm fine.
How did you and Liara both end up looking for my body?
Cerberus headhunted me and Liara to steal your body from the Shadow Broker. I was working for the broker at the time, and he's the one who scraped up your remains in the first place.
What turned you against the Shadow Broker?
He started working for the Collectors. You weren't their first victim. was an information trader, not a slaver.
How do you think Liara's doing as the new Shadow Broker?
Operations are almost fully recovered after a slight dip in efficiency.
Ever since we repaired the network, Liara's been glued to the archives. I caught her sleeping at her desk more than once. She's busy, but I think she likes it that way.
Looks like you've made a friend.
The drone follows everyone. I don't know why the broker kept it around.
I'm a shell for a specialized data processing VI, custom built to your specifications, Shadow Broker.
It helps coordinate the network's massive information feeds, but it could use a different interface tone.
You deemed my default personality sufficient for your needs, Shadow Broker.
I wish it would stop calling me that.
Take it easy, Farron.
Thanks.
I like the broker VI, which it'll get a name when we get to Mass Effect 3, but that's still not for a little bit. Anyways, next time, we're going to fully investigate all of what we have here on the Shadow Broker ship. But until then,